Henry's fine now. Henry has given me some slides which I click now.
Let's hope they work.
Bless you, Henry. I mean, this is your picture, so Henry, your questions.
Yeah. Okay. My question, which I have some preface to, is who will manage, which is how this meeting started. We've been told that we shouldn't look at the past, but I think we do have to see the Western market today, the Costco Plaza, and I have three more words: Czech Lap Cock, which began life as a rather interesting building, an important building, and is now, well, I think we can have different words to describe it, but it's a shopping mall. And a shopping mall seems to be the way things end all the time in Hong Kong. These pictures, and we might say, well, yes, but don't pay attention to that, look at the future. And I find that in general, governments all over the place, their business is to lie about the future. In other words, the past is something else, but the future is going to be great. And that keeps going. So these are pictures that I took at the present Central Market. And to me, they have a forensic value because they display something of the taste of the people involved with this project. And it's something that I have noticed in Hong Kong, which is the infantilization of the population. So what we're being asked to do is to suspend disbelief, suspend our experience, and trust the authorities that this time it's going to be right. We're going to have a beautiful fairyland. It's all going to be great. In a sense, it doesn't matter whether you have something that's close to my gentle Swiss persistent colleague and something that's absolutely minimal, or whether it's dressed like a disco. If it's not managed right, it's going to be a failure. And what we're looking at here is a symptom of what's acceptable, in fact, possibly even desirable, by the people who are responsible for the Western market today. I have just a few more slides, and then it starts again.
And Henry, the question to the architects is how should
how do you know that your intentions are going to be realized?
Maintained for a long time, architects.
Yeah.
How should place, after you've done your job, how should it be managed?
Thank you.
How can we get there? How can we keep it? Architects.
So that's the problem.
Yeah, I think I mentioned in the presentation that I feel that the spaces are fairly flexible in the building, and if we retain that flexibility, I think we can allow for the uses to change over time. The envelope and the principles of the building, if we keep those in place, then we have a good basic backbone for iterations which could happen within the building. That's what I believe. So, and that would make it easier to manage over time.
Yeah, I think, well, of course, an architect cannot speak for whoever managed the building. You know, frankly speaking, it's not just URA. I cannot speak for any of my clients who instruct me to do a work and then guarantee guarantee that it will be the same as what I did. You know, and let alone asking me whether I can guarantee. I can't actually. Well, as a matter of fact and as a matter of life. However, you know, this is a public building. You know, So a building will change according to time and according to what people want. So if we are doing a building that is, well, a framework that is entirely flexible, you know, what we are creating is actually space, volume, quality, light. So that won't change. Well, so the use, what people, use will be according to what people want. So if someday, I hope not, everyone in Hong Kong really want a shopping mall, then let it be a shopping mall. But if people want it to be a market, you have Dai Pai Dong in that, or you have a street shops there, and let it be it. And the framework is there. And I can only tell you that architects can only create the hardware and the framework and spatial quality, and let those who manage, whether they listen to the people or not, let them do it.
Okay. Can I have, yeah, there's a question over here at the back.
There you go, Mike. There you go.
I have two questions here. One is conservation a reason to change a former architect's design? Is that you got the right to change the former architect's design to such a great extent? The second question is, for example, if you as an architect, you have made such a fantastic design and people decided to conserve your design, and after the architect changed your design also in such a great extent, will it be okay for you?
I'd like to take the moustache side on the other side.
I think I should like to answer that question. I think in our everyday life, we try to change something for somebody, and somebody will change our work. I think this is the everyday life of our practice. And as a matter of fact, we are talking about the evolution. I think a building like human bodies, we need evolution. And at different time and different period of time, and then you have different function and changes. I think the metamorphosis of a building depends on its cultural value, the heritage value, as well as at that time, as I said, the architecture always represents space, time, and architecture. It needs evolution and development for different period. I don't think the architect before us, they will mind us to do something like that, because we are not demolishing them. As long as we are not demolishing them, we are preserving and give new life to that. The lady in front of me a moment ago talking about the old ladies. Let me make a metaphor right here. If there's a major problem with their legs, we need to add in new structure to her legs. If that action can make that old lady to run further and even to join a marathon, then why not? And that is my statement.
Anyone else for architects?
I think this is quite normal in the architectural practice, like the one as famous as the professor said, the Le Corbusier building, which initially is a residential building, then turned to the museum, or is it museum, right? Yeah, it turned to the museum. So the building, from time to time, they will have different functions, they will have different use because of the different owners, because of the different reasons that they will change for the use in different times. So I think this is quite normal in doing the alternations for buildings. So the only